Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Little Blue Fly. If this is your first time visiting, welcome, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel. It's as simple as tapping that subscribe button, making sure to select all after you have hit the notification bell. In today's video, I will be sharing my entryway floors. Now, for those of you that are new, I live in an 83-year-old stone cottage, and it has all of its original wood floors still very well intact. So what I'm going to do today is transform these floors for under $100. Now, this project was actually free for me because I already had all the product, because I've been working with the stairs in just different areas in the home. But for those of you that do not, you can actually get all of these items for under $100, roughly like about $85. So I'm going to share with you all, it was a little bit a labor of love being on this floor working it, but I believe it turned out absolutely beautiful. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so this is my entryway. And I decided that I did not feel like going and getting a sander and sanding down the floors and staining them. Instead, I wanted to do something that is absolutely magical and will keep the fairy tale feel going inside of my entryway. Now, here I just have a ruler and some tape, and I am going to start measuring out my harlequins. So each harlequin will be 18 inches going across. Now this is going to be a half of a harlequin. So it will be going down 9 inches. My full harlequins will go down 18 inches, and we'll talk more about that. But for right now, this is a half of a harlequin. So it will go 18 across, and 9 down. And eventually we will get there. 12.5 inches. So each angle going down left and right is 12.5 inches, and going across is 18. And then coming straight down is 9 inches, because we're just working with a half of a Harlequin. So again, 18 across, 9 coming down because we're working with half. Eventually it will be 18 going down, and then each side is 12 and a half. So the top piece of tape, since it's 18 across going up at top, you mark the center point, which is 9 up on the top tape. And then you go down the 9 inches. I have a plate, a brush, and yes, we are using this simple, and this is $20. It's at Michael's. It is my go-to. I love it. It is a chalkboard acrylic paint, believe it or not. Yes, I am painting this floor with chalkboard acrylic paint, and I highly recommend this because the chalk in this paint helps, it will grab onto the wood very well, but you'll get the nice shine from the acrylic. So it is a win-win. And some blue shop towels, tape, which I will be using 2 different sizes, a ruler, and a pencil to help mark things, to place the tape on the floor. So I have the first Harlequin taped off, and so you see here I'm just going down painting. This is what you do not want to do. When you paint, you want to go with the grain of the wood, not against it, because you really want to make sure that you get into all the grooves, and you want your paint to look right. You want it to go with the grain of the wood. So you just do nice brush strokes going across. I don't know why I always say across, but it is across. Just long, even paint strokes. And what's nice about this wide tape, it gives you extra room for those to not make mistakes, because sometimes I tend to get wild. I'm a lefty, and I tend to get wild with my paintbrush. Well, the wide tape gives me just that much more space to make a mistake. And there's our first Harlequin. Now, you can remove the tape when it's dry, or you can remove it when it is wet. I know it is easier to remove it when the paint is wet, but I prefer to do it when it's dry because I am just a bit messy at things. This is the fun part, when you have everything taped off and you put the tape on and you're just like, oh, please, please let it be okay. And as you can see, there's no bleed through underneath the tape, because this blue tape is a special tape. It is a painter's tape, and they also have a green tape as well. The green is a little bit more expensive than the blue, and the blue works just fine. You can purchase it from, oh gosh, I believe Walmart carries it. There's Lowe's, Home Depot. And when I pull my tape back, I like to take my time and go slow. And we have our perfect half Harlequin. Okay, so I've been a little bit busy here. We have a few full Harlequins. I will be sharing some here later on in the video. And then I have some half a Harlequins actually twisted going a different direction. And here is a full Harlequin taped off. 12.5 on all the sides. 18 going down. And 18 going across in the center. So basically on the sides, I have placed half Harlequins just like I started up at top. And up in the corners, the tips, I decided to go with a quarter of a Harlequin. So instead of doing the half, I did a quarter. It is the same process, 12.5 on the sides, but instead of going 18, you go 9. And now to pull the paint back on this piece. Now with whatever area you're working with, how I knew I wanted to go this size with my Harlequins is because I measured my full space that I wanted to paint. So I decided I wanted a very long Harlequin runner rug. And that's what I'm doing here. I am painting a long runner rug of Harlequins in my entryway. So then when I measured the length and the width, I was able to figure out, okay, how many Harlequins do I want in this space? How wide and how long? And that's when I decided I wanted 18 inches long and wide Harlequins. So the first thing, you measure your space, and then you decide what size do you want your Harlequins to be. Now we're going to remove the paint from the top. Ignore my poison ivy. This was a little ways back, this recording. It was still present for sure. So as you can see right here, the paint just sort of gathered up a bit. So I pulled it off with my finger, well, pushed it off. And then I decided to go the other direction just in case that paint was going to try to lift. And then pinch it off together. And as you can see, there's a little bleed over mark right there. When you have that, no worries. Just get a straight razor and just remove it. And when a little bit of paint pulls off from your Harlequin, no worries. And you'll see in the video, there's just little pieces of tape you put back there on the side and make a little touch up. And you will not even be able to tell. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full Harlequins and a half of a Harlequin up at top. So all of them are painted. Now I decided, see, there's a little blue piece of tape there because I had to do a touch up. And now I'm working with a 1-inch tape. I decided I wanted to make a border that was going to come out 3 inches. So I just taped around all the Harlequins and then made a border and just painting all the way down. This was definitely a labor of love, because you're on this floor and you're having to twist this way and twist that way, but we were able to have success, that's for sure. So here is the completed runner. I absolutely love this. I have full harlequins going down the center, but at the tips, half a harlequins. Then I twisted them and painted half harlequins on the outside of the runner, and then wrapped all of them with a border. So there is a 1-inch gap that is not painted going around all of these harlequins, and then the border is 3 inches going all the way around. Now we are going to add the candy. This is something new. So we have our tray. We have our polyurethane for floors, gloss. It is fast drying. So when I placed my first coat down, I actually waited about 5 hours, and then I put another coat down. I also love working with this. It's a staining pad, and it's great for putting on polyurethane or polyacrylic, because it just gives you nice, smooth lines. And this can be purchased at Home Depot or Lowe's. Now, when working with this product, always make sure that you have open doors, windows. You want really good ventilation when you are working with this product. Give it a good stir. And even though it looks cloudy, no worries, it will dry clear. Yeah, actually seen a little something floating in there. Had to get it out. Okay, so up at the top, this is the first coat. You can see it's already nice, and we have that candy going on. And then down here, it has, you can clearly see the difference with just one coat. And I did place on 3 coats. I'm just going to share this with you. You can see how it's a little bit cloudy. No worries. You just go back over. And it's really just that simple. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest and come back showing the 3 coats. And here is all 3 coats placed on the floor. And I could not be more pleased with my Harlequin runner. And I will be back next week on Thursday decorating my entryway.